Have you ever grown ginger in a container for months, only to dump out the pot at harvest time and discover one tiny little rhizome barely bigger than what you planted? It's frustrating, especially after watering, feeding, and caring for the plant all season long. You expect a huge harvest, and instead end up with something that barely fills your hand. But here's the good news. Growing a massive amount of ginger in a single container is absolutely possible if you understand what the plant actually wants. Over the years, I've experimented with different pots, soil mixes, watering methods, and feeding schedules. And I can tell you this small ginger harvests usually come from a handful of very common mistakes. Today I'm going to share my 5 best secrets for growing huge ginger harvests at home. These are the exact techniques that transformed my containers from weak little plants into overflowing pots packed with thick, healthy rhizomes. And make sure you stay until the end, because I'll also show you a simple overwintering trick that lets your ginger come back bigger and stronger every single year without needing to start over from scratch. Let's get into it. The first secret to massive ginger harvests is choosing the right container. And honestly, this is where many people fail before the plant even starts growing. Ginger doesn't grow like tomatoes or peppers with deep vertical roots. The part you harvest, the rhizome, spreads horizontally just beneath the soil surface. It slowly creeps outward in every direction as the season progresses. So if you plant ginger in a tall, narrow pot, the rhizomes quickly hit the sides and run out of room. That immediately limits your harvest size. Instead, ginger wants a wide, shallow container with plenty of horizontal growing space. Something at least 18 inches wide and around 12 inches deep works extremely well. Even bigger is better if you want truly impressive harvests. Personally, some of my best ginger crops came from large fabric grow bags because they drain beautifully and allow the rhizomes to expand naturally. And drainage matters a lot. Ginger loves consistent moisture, but it absolutely hates sitting in stagnant water. If water pools at the bottom of the container, the rhizomes can quickly rot. Now let's talk about placement. Ginger originally comes from tropical regions of Southeast Asia, so warmth is one of the biggest factors controlling growth speed. The more warmth and sunlight you provide, the faster and larger the rhizomes develop. A bright south-facing patio, sunny balcony greenhouse, or warm deck is ideal. 6 to 8 hours of sunlight produces the strongest growth, although ginger can still survive in partial shade. But if your goal is a truly massive harvest, maximum sunlight makes a huge difference. Warmth, light, and space. Those are the foundations of successful container ginger growing. Get those right first, and everything else becomes much easier. The second secret to giant ginger harvests is the soil, and this is another area where many container growers accidentally hold the plant back without realizing it. If you fill your pot with dense garden dirt, ginger struggles almost immediately. Heavy soil compacts inside containers, trapping too much moisture and making it difficult for rhizomes to spread properly. Ginger wants loose, rich, airy soil that holds moisture while still draining freely. Here's the mix I personally use. I start with a quality organic potting mix as the base. Then I blend in a generous amount of compost, roughly 1 part compost for every 3 parts potting mix. That compost does 2 important things at the same time. First, it feeds the ginger slowly with nutrients throughout the growing season. And second, it improves soil structure, so the mix stays soft and workable instead of compacting into a dense brick. If the soil still feels too heavy, adding perlite or coconut coir helps loosen it even further. A good ginger soil mix should hold together lightly when squeezed in your hand, then crumble apart easily. That tells you it's retaining moisture without becoming waterlogged. And trust me, ginger absolutely loves rich organic matter. Healthy compost introduces worms, microbes, and beneficial biological activity that constantly releases nutrients into the root zone over time. That living soil environment makes a huge difference in rhizome development. One mistake I'd avoid is using fresh manure from animals like horses, because it often introduces weed seeds into the container. Ginger grows in open clumps with exposed soil between stalks, so weeds can become a constant problem very quickly. Instead, stick with finished compost worm castings or balanced organic fertilizers. The healthier and richer your soil is from the beginning, the less work you'll need to do later in the season. Strong soil creates strong ginger. Now let's talk about planting, because this is where many people overcomplicate things unnecessarily. The truth is, ginger wants to grow. It's much tougher and more forgiving than people think. When choosing ginger from the grocery store or an Asian market, look for pieces that feel firm, plump, and heavy with moisture. Avoid shriveled or dried out rhizomes, because they usually grow much more slowly. Organic ginger is ideal, since some conventional ginger is treated with growth inhibitors to prevent sprouting during storage. But even non-organic ginger often grows perfectly fine if you soak it in warm water overnight before planting. Now here's one of the biggest secrets to massive harvests: plant large pieces. A larger rhizome contains more stored energy, which means stronger early growth, more shoots, larger leaves, and ultimately much bigger underground development later in the season. A lot of beginners cut their ginger into tiny little chunks, hoping to create more plants. Technically that works, but each piece becomes weaker and slower because it starts with less energy reserves. Instead, use chunks roughly 2 to 3 inches wide with several visible buds or growing points. And if you have one especially large, healthy piece, don't be afraid to plant the whole thing. More starting energy almost always means more final harvest weight. When planting, fill your container almost to the top and lay the rhizomes flat across the soil surface. Space multiple pieces several inches apart so they have room to expand sideways later. Then cover them with only about 1 inch of soil. That shallow planting depth is incredibly important. Ginger naturally grows close to the soil surface. If you bury it too deeply, the shoots waste energy trying to push upward, instead of expanding the rhizomes underground. After planting, lightly water the soil and add a layer of mulch, like straw, shredded leaves, or wood chips over the top. Mulch helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, and slowly feeds the soil as it breaks down during the growing season. Simple planting done correctly gives ginger an enormous head start. When it comes to growing huge ginger harvests, watering is probably the single most important factor of all. And here's the mistake most people make. They water the exact same way from planting day until harvest. But ginger's water needs change dramatically as the plant grows. Right after planting, the rhizome doesn't yet have roots or shoots actively growing. At this stage, overly wet soil can actually cause the ginger to rot before it even wakes up. So early on, go light with watering. If the soil stays slightly moist, naturally leave it alone. Wait until you see green shoots emerging before increasing moisture levels. Once active growth begins, everything changes. Ginger becomes a thirsty tropical plant that loves consistent moisture during warm weather. The goal is evenly moist soil, never bone dry but never swampy either. Stick your finger into the soil about 1 inch deep, if it feels dry, water thoroughly until moisture drains from the bottom of the container. During peak summer heat, that may mean watering daily, depending on your climate and container size. This is exactly why loose, well-draining soil matters so much. Ginger wants lots of moisture flowing through the soil without trapping stagnant water around the rhizomes. Now let's talk about feeding. Ginger grows aggressively both above and below the soil, and that takes energy. Over time, containers gradually lose nutrients because the roots can't expand outward into surrounding ground. That means you need to replenish fertility regularly. Every 4 to 6 weeks, I like adding a few handfuls of compost or worm castings across the soil surface around the base of the stalks. Liquid fertilizers like diluted fish emulsion or seaweed extract also work beautifully every couple weeks during active growth. The goal isn't one huge fertilizer blast, it's steady nutrition over time. Mulch also plays a major role here. As it slowly breaks down, it feeds beneficial soil organisms and helps stabilize moisture levels around the rhizomes. And don't underestimate how important mulch becomes during hot summer weather. It keeps the root zone cooler, slows evaporation, and dramatically reduces watering stress. Healthy ginger grows in rich, moist, living soil. Once you understand that balance, harvest sizes improve dramatically. The fifth secret to massive ginger harvests is learning how to read problems early before they slow the plant down. One of the most common issues is brown, crispy leaf tips. That usually means the soil is drying out too often, especially during intense summer heat. If that happens, increase watering frequency, refresh your mulch layer, and consider moving the container somewhere with a bit of afternoon shade during extremely hot weather. Yellow leaves during the growing season usually point to nutrient deficiencies or insufficient sunlight. In most cases, adding compost or liquid fertilizer quickly improves new growth. Another major warning sign is soft or mushy rhizomes. That almost always means rot caused by overwatering or poor drainage. If you catch it early, cut away damaged sections, allow the healthy tissue to dry briefly, and replant into fresh, well-draining soil. And if your ginger simply refuses to sprout at all temperature, is usually the problem. Ginger hates cold soil. If temperatures stay below about 65 degrees, Fahrenheit growth slows dramatically or stops completely. Warmth is one of the biggest growth triggers you can provide. Now, let's talk about harvesting, easily the most satisfying part of the entire process. You don't necessarily have to wait until the end of the season to enjoy fresh ginger. Once the stalks become well established, you can carefully dig around the edges of the container and harvest small young rhizomes whenever needed. Young ginger is especially tender, juicy, and mild compared to mature store-bought ginger. But if you want truly massive harvests, patience pays off. Allow the plant to grow for 4 to 6 full months. By late season, the leaves naturally begin yellowing and dying back as energy shifts underground into the rhizomes. That's when harvest size peaks. At that point, you can either harvest the entire container or simply remove outer rhizomes, while leaving the central plant intact to continue growing. And now for the overwintering trick I promised earlier. If you live in a warm climate, ginger can often stay outdoors year-round and continue growing season after season. But even in colder climates, you don't need to start over every spring. Before the first frost, move the container indoors somewhere above freezing. A garage, basement, greenhouse, or spare room works well. Cut back the dead stalks and dramatically reduce watering through winter dormancy. Then, once warm weather returns, move the container back outside and resume watering. The established rhizome wakes up with a huge head start compared to newly planted ginger. And every year after that, the harvest gets larger because the underground rhizome mass keeps expanding and compounding over time. That's how one simple container eventually turns into pounds and pounds of homegrown ginger.